Hello, John Dilworth here, and I hope everybody could see me and hear me. Is this happening? Let's see. No, yeah, I hope we have full audio. Do we have audio? Okay, so somebody just let me know if we could hear everybody. We can see you all right. Can we hear all right? This camera's a little weak. No, that's too much light. No, Dilworth. Is that better or worse? It's going to be a little shaky. It's dark. Haha. Well, thank you all. Thank you all for attending this impromptu live stream. I thought since the anniversary is today, 29 years ago, I might as well talk to you and answer questions, inspire you if there's anything to be inspired by, except for this propeller. Now, I'm going to, there's one thing I wanted to do for everybody. Listen to this. Huh? Can you hear it? Then you just see the farmhouse. That's Steven Saltzman. And he's out of LA, Los Angeles. And we were very lucky to find him. We basically, to get that score, we listened to Forbidden Planet and these wonderful sci-fi films from the 1950s, which so influenced me at the time. And we're going back way. So this is 90. So I guess 94, I start thinking about this film. And the predecessor for Courage is absolutely Hamilton. And Hamilton, Malcolm, and Raisin, which was a pilot we produced for MTV. I loved that short. I had so much wanted to do that, Smart Talk with Raisin. And that wasn't to be. It was just a little before its time, before South Park, before networks thought adults would watch juveniles with very bad adult behavior and ideas. So this was way before that. So you could see, if you go back and you look at Smart Talk with Raisin, you could see the trio. You have Muriel, you have Raisin as Muriel, you have Malcolm as the farmer, Eustace, and you have Hamilton as Courage. And I just borrowed a lot from that cartoon because it wasn't going to do anything. And I was already writing this sci-fi movie, this beautiful sci-fi movie, which was going to be in black and white. Yeah, it's too bad I have no material to show you, but maybe next year when it's the 30th year, if we're still here, we'll do that. Why not? That would be a lot of fun. And so that's the origins of this cartoon. But the film was going to be in black and white. I did it all in black and white. And what's unique about the mask, the Ooga Booga mask, was that it had replaced a shotgun. Originally, when Courage ran into the farmhouse upon seeing the alien's chicken and warning the family, the farmer blasted him with a shotgun. Now, the shotgun is a prop that came directly out of the golden age of Hollywood cartoons, where the 30s, the 40s, and 50s, you had characters using every kind of naughty weapon to bring the demise of their adversary. But nobody got hurt. It was understood. It's ridiculous. It's a cartoon. And even, yeah. And so back in the mid-90s, I was extending that. But little did I know, times have changed, and standards and practices forbid violence like that. I mean, you can't have knives, bomb. Well, some bomb. It's very delicate. I mean, I had dynamite, blew everything up, but you see, courage still lives. So my idea of violence in cartoons is if a horse or a safe or a piano, like a ship, falls on you and you're absolutely flattened. You've seen this so many times in my shorts. Character just crawls out, and then somehow he comes back together, or later he's restored. So, I mean, that's a big change, of course. Now, I want to explain this helmet. Now, perhaps many of you, or a few, or none of you know the story of this helmet and spacesuit. I'm not wearing a spacesuit, but when I was out in Los Angeles back in 90, 95, 96, 96, pitching, I had pitched in this spacesuit. And what was remarkable is I didn't know I was going to do this. I was just driving along Los Angeles and ran into this vintage store, and they had a spacesuit. So I bought it, and it just fit perfectly. I didn't have to do anything. Maybe I extended the legs, and then some prop like this, so this flies. And I spent the entire week in Los Angeles in my spacesuit. From morning and got up breakfast until I went back to bed. And I did all my meetings in my spacesuit. I had my lunches, my evenings. I just loved it. I mean, for me, we're role playing, we're animators, and it's just an extension of our imagination to want to act, but not act in a serious way. I mean, you can't be serious when you look like I do, 6'3" and goofy. So I'm in the city. I'm in Los Angeles with this spacesuit, and surprisingly, nobody cared. Yeah, nobody cared. It was like the most natural, normal, everyday outfit, costume. In fact, one time I got lost on one of those freeways, super dupers, and I saw a patrolman up ahead. So I pull over behind him on the super duper, and I run out of my car with my map in my spacesuit, knock on the window. Hello, officer. How do I get out of this thing? And he showed me on the map, but nothing. I didn't even get a ticket for being a spaceman with it. Where'd you park my spaceship? Nothing. So these are the wonderful anecdotes about the chicken from outer space. There's another one that's not so nice. And I was at the home of my sound designer, Michael Geisler, who had done so many of my best work, really. Dirty Birdie, Chicken from Outer Space, so many elders, right up through to the Masochist. And he did all the Courage the Cowardly Dog series, did the Noodles and that. I mean, he did them all. And the Ren and Stimpy's, we did that Christmas special wraparounds and things like that with Ren and Stimpy. It was early 90s. And that's how I met Michael. So I'm in his house. It's early morning. And I think I call the Academy, because you could do that then. I don't know what you could do. You can call and they tell you all the nominees. And when they said the Chicken from Outer Space, I just froze. Of course, at a far off galaxy fantasy down the world in another place and time, I want it, I expect it and all of this jazz. But I never think it'd happen, ever. And I'm nominated. And my buddy Michael, he's on the cordless, and he's having a debate with a lover, and it's not going well. And he just throws his phone across the room, and it shatters. And then I say, Michael, are you excited because we've been nominated? He goes, no way, right? So anyway, I leave that noise, and I'm driving to the studio, because now I'm going to Cartoon Network. We've just been nominated. That's such a big thing. And as I'm driving along, there's a dog on the road who had been hit and lost his life. So I pull over because I'm a mensch and I don't see anybody around that's concerned. And it's got a collar, but there's no address. So I picked the dog up and I just go canvassing the houses to see and learn if anybody is missing their dog. And I couldn't find anybody, but a good neighbor had phoned the facilities, an agency came over and they collected the dog. And as I was proceeding onto the network, I couldn't help. You can't, I had to reflect. Here, my dog lives, celebrated now. But this other dog had to lose its life. And not that it has anything to do with anything, but this is the power of being human, that we could create these phenomenons all in our head. And if, my heart is a loving one and life, is precious. I just find it's just the way it is. But the symbolism bothered me quite a bit for some time. But we had a great time. It was absolutely awesome. The Chicken from Outer Space took me all over the world. Great award shows, great lunches, met celebrities. And that's the short film, right? That's the short film that independent filmmakers like myself, this is what gets us up in the morning. We want to create this. We want to offer the world this. We want to, and in return, we don't get any money for these things, but we get this joy that we've moved people, touched them somehow in the short period of time that they offer their life to watch what we do. And then just the sheer immeasurable joy of satisfaction. Okay, I did it. I wanted to do it. Of course, I could be better. I don't bother with that. But I achieved a goal, right? So it's not even just to finish a film, which is a big deal, absolutely, if you're in this game. But to finish it within the range of, my expectations. And I was surprised. I was really surprised. So that's enough of me chatting. I don't know what. Let's see if we could answer some wonderful questions, because this is why I'm here. So let me just see what is coming up. Any questions? Let's see. Hello, yes. Audio is good. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Digley. I like that. All is working well. Okay. Okay, so there's not any questions so far. And perhaps this is not one where we have questions to ask. And it's more like we would just come together to celebrate this short film. And March of the Space Chickens. That's right. That's right. Grey Wolf Leader, TW. I've got a question. Finally. Wiki says Eustace's personality is based on your early attitudes. Who wrote that, I wonder? So I wouldn't outright deny it. As an actor, there is this component that has to exist to play any role. And an animator is an actor. And they're good ones in terms of expressing feeling. And I'm not thinking about an animator that's gifted in the principles of moving or drawing or timing, but at the acting. And I will admit, in my early days, I may have been a bit arrogant or insensitive to the feelings of others, but I was never a Eustace. I think I could easily grow into being Eustace in like another 30 years if I'm alive. right? Because that would be fun. I mean, I just say what you want to whoever, you know. You can't make an old man do anything, especially if he's got an irascible attitude. But but in a part, we're all the creations we invent. We have to be, otherwise they wouldn't breathe, they wouldn't live. So yeah, so thank you, unlicensed doc. Let's see, anything more from Argentina? Hello, Lux Stars from Argentina. Why is he not posting his short about Two Wolves in Love? Well, that's not a chicken from outer space question, Erie Eric. But I tell you, I love that, Erie Eric. I do. I like that name. That's coming. Be patient. It's a short film, and short films are in the movie theaters. They're in film festivals. That's where you initially experience them. That's our art. That's independent filmmakers. That's what we did. The Chicken from Outer Space only played in film festivals and theaters, in a large group of people, all breathing together and happy and laughing together, and just the energy that comes off a human being next to another. I mean, you must have experienced it. It's just, there's nothing like it. We live, everything has, right, is exchanging energy. So I really want people to enjoy my movie in a theater. Okay, so let's go back to, Pork Hill has I'd like an intense scene again with Courage. Always had me for a wonder. Okay, yeah, Courage is perfect to do intense scenes with, because we know basically he's built to survive, and nothing fatal will ever happen to him. And then I think that's part of the confidence that we have for the characters like this. You know, they act as, like in a dark cave, they can act as a little light. What happened with Hamilton and the kids? Wow, MTV had no, well, that's not a chicken from outer space question. Outrage, Swampert. What do you work on other than your short films? Do you do commercials? Dan Spear. Yes, I do commercials, because without commercials, I can't make a living. And I'm an artist, so I make short films, and that's what I like doing. And Ali says, neat, good. Okay, where is chicken? Hello from Nicaragua. Very good. TKL, Mr. Dilworth. I love that. That's my name now, Dilworth. Have you ever pitched any cartoons to Disney and Nickelodeon before? Yes, indeedy. Disney and I have a long history. And some of you may know that recently we were developing Prudence. And unfortunately, I was told that my work was just too weird for Disney. So that was Disney. And Nickelodeon, of course, we did Psych for Snappa. We were working on Ren and Stimpy. We worked on Doug. Did I pitch them? I did pitch. You know, in your lifetime of being an animator or creator, you're going to pitch to everybody. And that's what you should do. Oriana. I remember when I saw this pilot, I was really scared of the scene where Eustace ate the egg and started to transform. Really great part. I'm like, yeah, the thing is, that's strange, because standards and practices permitted Eustace to ingest these alien eggs. And I thought we would have to change that. But I guess because they were spotted, that they weren't real, like eggs don't really look like that we were able to get away with it. That's my cue. Yeah, Hothead Studios. Next year will be 30 years of this short. That's right. Spit it out. We're doing an interview. We're going to have some great questions. Random cartoons. Garlic Boy. That was Nickelodeon. Garlic Boy. Right, but it was not one of my best cartoons. Right. Let me see. To Nick. No, Nick's a good studio. What's a good studio? What are your idols? Oh, James M. What are your idols, your inspirations, your teachers, or favorite cartoons? Oh, well, that's so broad, but I'll tell you what I'm doing now. I'm studying, and don't laugh. I'm studying Jane Austen. I'm now on her fourth novel, and I am so impressed by the depth of her ability to understand human nature. And I'm really quite inspired by this author. It's 200 years ago, but I accidentally rolled into her, and now it's like I'm doing a kind of a scholarly study because she that's rare, such a rare, and died so young, 41. Like, you get all these super very important people in the history of humanity that die young. And Joseph Campbell, always Joseph Campbell. I'm reading the ancient Greeks right now. I think Aeschylus. I'm going through his plays, which is always useful, always helpful. Inspiration, the art of rhetoric. That's Aristotle. And I know this is all very boring and dull. I mean, this is what happened. I'm also learning chess, first time. I've had 2 games, lost them both. Quite frustrating. As soon as I lost the second game, I had to immediately play blackjack, and I won. So I was happy. Okay, well, let's see. All-time favorite. Any questions? There's so many. I love you all for writing. I love that helmet, Solomon. Thank you. Piggy Bank Robbery, Grey Wolf Leader DW. Entire closet full of bad guys. That's right. I miss it when Courage talked like season 1. Poor Kill. Now, the chicken from outer space, Howard Hoffman, who's a radio personality, he did all the voices. He did Courage, he did Muriel, he did Eustace, he did the alien chicken, he did the mouse. He was everything. But that short, it was just little sounds. And except for the last one, this shouldn't happen to a dog. And when we were casting the series, Howard did audition, and I really wanted to go his direction, but it didn't win out. And that was too bad because I really, really liked his work. Had a nice style. Ultimate 18. You are pilgrim in style. Times can change, but the style is what gives your signature. I love your style, Dilly. You are pilgrim. Okay, that's something else. Okay, long live the man, the myth, the legend. Who's that? Pilgrim? Let me see. Questions. Dirty Birdie was so good. You need to do something with that bird and his cat girlfriend. Eerie Eric, you and I wearing that suit. What did others think of you wearing that suit, John? Well, Cholo say? As I said, nobody said anything the whole week. It was just like the most normal, like you're wearing dungarees and a t-shirt. It was surprising. And in Los Angeles, I guess in Hollywood, everybody is something, right? I mean, that's the way it is. Booga, booga, booga. Thank you. Let me see. Spaceman Dilly. What do we got? We got 7 minutes left. Okay. Michael Geisler. No one said anything. Michael Geisler. Michael Geiser is the sound master. Michael Geisler. Let me see. Hello, officer. Which way? To Mars. That's hilarious. Let me see. What else? What do we have? Encourage where they were selfish, or a very selfish snake lead an army of his skin, courage pure. I can't follow that, but I love you. Thank you, Lux Stars. Didn't know you worked on Ren and Stimpy. Well, I didn't really. I mean, Michael Geisler and I met doing these small things, and then I was tapped to do a straight-to-video Christmas special, which was a lot of fun. And I made sure that I used John Kay's drawings. At the time, it was important, and I had the assistance of Jerry Beck, the historian and producer himself. But it was important that I got John's approval because I feel very, very strongly about working on other people's stuff and then without their approval. Like when I was working on Doug, of course, Jen Jenkins loved what I was doing, and Rugrats. When I was doing Rugrats, there's people there to approve what you're doing. But so yeah, I did that. John Michael and I we did that. Any idea why the Courage pilot wasn't included in the DVD set bonus feature? Because the Courage pilot, it's well, I know we say it's a pilot because it was used as a pilot, but it was a short film initially, and then it was just used. I mean, as the pilot. I mean, it's very fortunate Cartoon Network funded it because I was still paying off the Dirty Birdie. We were just finishing the Dirty Birdie. Dirty Birdie's going all over the world, but that film cost a lot of money. It was the last film we did on celluloids with hand painting, and it had to go underneath a Knoxberry with a cameraman that would clean the cells between his armpit or between his legs and lay them down. I mean, it was the end of a. Yeah, I always feel like I come in at the end of things that I love. What was it like getting Paul Simon to storyboard Courage? Paul Simon was the amazing Inca ghostwriter. Right. I didn't directly deal with Paul because we had a whole different department. We had so many beautiful storyboard artists. We couldn't have done anything without that great crew. And I liked having a core in the studio, but a lot of it was farmed out. On the cordless, haven't heard that term. And okay, wow. Hi, John. Your top finest cartoons and series. I can't tell you that because I don't really watch. I'm sorry. Don't judge me. I'm too busy. I don't have time to watch things. I'm sorry. I will though one day, maybe when I'm old and like Eustace, like I will do that. Cottonor was much better with you, and you're so sweet, Erie. Erie. Let me see. I just want to make sure I get everybody. Geisler, Casey, Michael's dog was there with us. You did a great pilot. That's right. The only rights to rookies. No, rope keys. I can't even see with these little things. No. The networks they give you the money. You could say no, I don't want your money, but then you got to hustle around and do things. But look at how beautiful the production value of Courage was, and then because you gamble. It's a gamble. You just don't own anything anymore. Hello from Kentucky. Pavel, love the show. It's my favorite show ever. Have Courage tattoo on my leg. Okay, great. There's no question, but thank you. Let me see. Still working. What was the process like using CG to animate Kim's ranks? Well, we use CG in The Chicken from Outer Space. Sean Esposito from Terabyte, Los Angeles. He did that spaceship. I couldn't believe it. I was the very first CG I worked on, and Sean did that beautiful. It was so simple too. It just came in like that, and then he did a rendering of just one so that evil chicken can come out. Yeah, I want to ask you who came up with the ideas for some of the frankly ethereal music you chose for episodes of Courage. No, Courage, the music for Courage was an absolute collaboration based on Jody Gray and Andy Ezrin's combined mastery and utility of every object you could ever be associated with to produce sounds. And I just sat in. It's my favorite part of the production. I was just sitting in while they did things and played things, and I just gave opinion. If it matters, I would say it does, because that's a true collaboration, right? Because when I hear something or see something, I know exactly what I want, and I'll define it, and then it's over. We move on. What is your next project a full CG film? I don't think so, Alphone. I don't think so. Anime, of course, I admire greatly, Sean, but I don't have a favorite currently. The CG in Courage was, yeah, we were very lucky. We used, we got 20 seconds. I just want to say, without all of, I know, really, whatever you're doing, out there for these 25, 30 years, I am totally grateful for you. And this is why I'm here. Let's hope that we can continue and and can and give to others. I mean, just keep passing it on. That's it. So now I'm going to love you and leave you. And just as Courage says, this really shouldn't happen to a dog, but I'm glad it is.